Welcome back students to my channel Study with AV. In this video lecture 1.1 we will cover new interesting topics. Before we start, I humbly request you to please subscribe to our channel, as it motivates me to make more interesting educational videos for you guys. So now you have subscribed, let's get started. So before we begin new topics, let's look at the topics that we covered in the last lecture. We studied concept of gender, then we saw the differences between sex and gender. After that we learned the meaning of patriarchy, followed by its characteristics and elements associated with it. Then we studied gender bias and the kinds of gender bias at workplaces. I hope you understood all the topics covered in the last video. If you have any doubts, please write down in the comments section. I will definitely resolve your doubts or queries. So let's begin now. In this video we will cover all these topics. I'll give you 5 seconds to have an overview of it. By end of this video you guys will learn all these topics. So now that you're done, let's begin with our topic, which is stereotypes. A thought that a person may adopt about specific types of individuals. Human do generate thoughts which have significant importance as what they like or doing things, or a perception about something. Or we can say that certain ways of doing things. It may or may not reflect reality. Stereotype is derived from Latin word stereos and typos, which means solid impression. However, its cognitive component which occurs without awareness or consciousness. Moving ahead with stereotype in relation with gender. One is not born a woman, one becomes one. So gender should be referred to as social and cultural constructions of masculinity and femininity. Societal roles tell what types of behaviors are acceptable, appropriate or desirable. In a case study, effects of gender stereotypes on mathematical abilities were tested. It was found maths is for boys. It's a stereotype. Next topic in our lecture is implicit gender stereotypes. These stereotypes have an unconscious influence on the attitude of a person. He may or may not be aware of that. Example, women have negative associations with maths. It was found that this stereotype also reflects performance in maths. Stereotype affects self-evaluation. People may fall into depression when they build negative stereotype about themselves. Stereotyping strongly affects how people perceive and treat one another. People with stereotypes expect certain actions from members of social groups. This topic becomes a threat when people are aware of a negative stereotype about their social group. When people indulge in stereotype, gradually it affects social behavior. These stereotypical thoughts are activated automatically. They eventually become rigid because they can't be changed at will. Let's now start equality in the caste system. Social inequality is manifested in many ways. Concept of equality is not as simple as it appears. Equality is ideally accepted by all the enlightened and programmed societies and individuals. Concept of equality has grown in Europe and America. Besides this, it has been developed in India on the canvas of caste-ridden social reality that existed here. Concept of equality accepted by our constitution is mainly Western. Policy of reservation was put forward with a view to limiting the caste-based inequalities in our society. Let's move to the next slide. The Constitution guarantees equality to all citizens, and this establishes a rule of non-discrimination by the state in any manner. Every society has certain units. The structure is followed by social classes, family, caste system, religion, language, internal organizations, economic system, ethnicity or race. Many other factors include economical conditions, educational opportunities, and discrimination on the basis of gender also contribute to the denial of opportunities to express one's true merit and worth. Next important topic is ethnicity. It refers to cultural traits that are shared by a category of people such as language, religion or national origin. An ethnicity category is created when people are forcibly assigned into a given ethnic membership. Shared culture, practices, values and beliefs of a group. Next come the characteristics of ethnicity. It relates to identities like caste, language, religion, region etc. In terms of shared power between two ethnic groups results into conflict. It's socially mobilized and territorially confined. It has reference group in relation to a sense of relative deprivation. Focus on self-interests. It is both objective and subjective. Next very important topic is disability and equality. Under Equality Act 2010, if anybody has a physical or mental impairment that has a substantial and long-term negative effect on ability to do normal duties. It's a mental or physical impact on your well-being. Some conditions are automatically treated as disability under the Equality Act. You may file a lawsuit in case of discrimination. Some of the conditions that come under disability are as follows. Cancer, HIV infection, multiple sclerosis, severe disfigurement, does not include tattoos or piercings if you're certified blind. Now we look at the conditions that might be taken into account. Problems with sight or hearing, conditions where the effects are long-term or occur in episodes. Motor neuron disease, muscular dystrophy, OT, forms of dementia, disability in learning, depression, bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, impairment due to injury in the body or brain. Our last topic for this lecture will be types of discriminations. First one is direct discrimination. It means someone is treated differently and not well as other people because of disability. For example, an employee does not employ a disabled person just because it does not want disabled person in his workforce. This can be further classified into their own disability or perceived disability or their association with someone who is disabled. Second one is indirect discrimination. It can occur where a workplace rule, practice or procedure is applied to all employees, but disadvantages those who are disabled. Third is harassment, which means unwanted conduct related to person's disability causes a distressing, humiliating or offensive environment for that person. Fourth is victimization, treating with someone unfairly because they have made or supported a complaint about disability of an individual. Fifth one is discrimination arising from disability. This happens when someone is treated unfavorably because of something linked to their disability but not because of their disability itself. Sixth on is failure to make reasonable adjustments. It happens when an employer fails to make reasonable adjustments for a disabled job applicant. So if you have any doubts up till here, you can mention in the comments section. I will be happy to resolve your questions. So this lecture comes to an end. In the next video we will bring more interesting topics. Please subscribe to our channel for being connected with us. Thanks for watching. Take care.